are able to get started. Thank you, Hope.
Okay. Can you see community, branding and community guideline or communications overview, that slide? Woohoo. Woohoo. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can see it. Hope.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can
Okay.
hear and see you.
Well,
Sorry, that was me not putting my microphone on, my mic on mute
okay.
real quick.
I was like,
Sorry.
oh no, I've done something. It's not going to work.
No, it was the Yoo-Hoo. I know that's my name. I know my name is Yoo-Hoo, so sorry about
You,
that.
you. That was actually this something odd fact nobody ever wanted to know. But do y'all remember Yoo-Hoo's the chocolate drinks? Chocolate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Before those were chocolate soldiers, and chocolate soldiers were my absolute favorite. I even have a bottle that we found, a leftover bottle of a chocolate soldier from when we closed out my granddad's house and grandmother's house. Strange fact. So sorry.
Never
Anyway,
heard of Chocolate Soldier ever.
it
Ever.
so much better than a Yoo-Hoo.
I
So
believe
much
it.
better than a Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-Hoos are just flavored water. But sorry about that. Go ahead, Hope.
Okay, we're going to do the branding and communications overview today. Um, this is simply going to be a general overview of compliance requirements as it relates to branding and communications. We're going to give some direction on where to find resources to help you remain in compliance and tell your story, and give you some foundational best practices to help your program shine because we really want you to succeed. Um, and guess what? Y'all are hearing all about it today, I'm sure, but y'all have compliance requirements. That's going to be the first thing that we cover. Um, Next, we're going to have branding guidelines, both AmeriCorps and a little bit of ours, social media tips and some collaboration with us, and some additional resources. How many do we have on the call today? 12? So we're going to do an icebreaker. If y'all can come off of mute. Um, I want to know what your name is, what program you're representing, and if your organization were a movie or a song, what would it be and why? Um, Again, I'm Hope Alexander and with Volunteer Tennessee, and our song would be "I'll Be There for You" by the Rembrandts. If you've ever watched Friends, you know that. So, would anybody else like to chime in? What much? Not much of an icebreaker. Okay, no worries. We'll go on. What is branding?
It's
Branding
not their
is
fault, Hope. We just had gone through movies and songs today. So sorry about that. They're probably like, why a third time? But sorry about that. Yeah. It's not that the icebreaker is bad.
sorry. It's a good one though. Did you like mine? I'll be there for you. Um,
Absolutely. We have a playlist that we'll send you on Spotify as well.
oh, perfect. Okay. So let's get started then. So let's start with it's always good to just say to set our baseline. So what is branding? It's your public image, your reputation, or identity conceived of something to be marketed or promoted, and that's straight from Merriam-Webster. Um, a lot of people just think your brand is your logo and the font that you use. But there are several elements of the brand. You do have your name, you have your logo, your color palette, um, the types of pictures that you use, your tagline, if you have a tagline, the fonts that you use. But it's also the personality that you share and the culture, your company culture, your mission. Y'all have a very important mission, and that's part of your brand is your mission. Your story. What story are you telling? How are you changing lives? It's every single interaction that anyone has with you, and this is not just your the people that you serve. It's your coworkers and people in the community. It's just everybody you come in contact with um, for with your business, with your program. So, and branding matters because when you think of brand, Okay, think for just a second. I just shared about my chocolate soldier. That's an emotional connection for me. That's my childhood. That's a connection. Some people have those connections with your football team. How many are Tennessee Vols fans or Alabama fans, or you're a Titans fan? You have an emotional connection, and part of that is because of the brand, because your brand really does matter. Um, how many AmeriCorps alumni do we have on the call? Do we know? This is the
No,
quietest bunch.
I was like, I'm one. Anthony is one. I'm not sure. I almost am pretty sure that Ashley is one as well. But that would be just everybody in the chat. Just throw in a yes or a no if you're an AmeriCorps alum.
So chances are, I'm guessing, those of you who are AmeriCorps alums, that you have an emotional connection to AmeriCorps. It's not just the name AmeriCorps, it's not just the logo, it's not just the brand, but it is a full emotional connection. So whenever the term AmeriCorps is said or you see the logo, you have that connection. You have the nostalgia. You think of the people that you serve with, the good, the bad, and the sandpaper people. You think of all that you accomplished. There's a lot of nostalgia, and we want to. That's part of the brand, is that connection and that really knowing that you've made a difference. The brand matters also because it's part of this statewide and national, larger national movement. The reputation is at stake. When people hear AmeriCorps, they know that it's a program that's really making a difference. It's when you have the logo and the brand attached to it. Part of the brand is the awareness for the benefit of recruitment and funding and sustainability. So all of that is important with the branding efforts that we do, and you have the really big one here too, is that it is required because of the funding that you get, is making sure that you're brand compliant. Volunteer Tennessee branding requirements. This is the 22 state NOFO, and I believe the verbiage has been updated, but we have not gotten that added to this slide yet. But basically, AmeriCorps members must wear an AmeriCorps logo on a daily basis when they're on the clock. Preferably clothing. A lanyard is good, but they need some, or a cap, but they need some sort of AmeriCorps logo on them because of the branding requirement, predominantly displayed. Also note that funded programs are required to predominantly display the Volunteer Tennessee and AmeriCorps logos on printed and electronic materials that are related to the grant that you're getting funded for. You can go back and read all of this, but it's making sure that you have, for the grant contract, that you have for public notice, all notices, informational pamphlets, all this stuff needs to have that printed on it. This project is funded under a grant contract with the state of Tennessee and Volunteer Tennessee. All notices by the grantee in relation to the grant contract shall be approved by the state. So that's really important. So need to make sure we have that in there. More branding guidelines. And what we're going to go through more, now this is actually a requirement, but you need to identification of AmeriCorps program or AmeriCorps member, because we really want to keep that brand up, because we know that your programs are doing great work, and we want to keep getting funding so that your programs can do great work, and y'all want to keep getting funding. So we just need to make sure that that's highly visible and it's out there where everybody can see it. Now let's look at the AmeriCorps branding requirements. The AmeriCorps logo needs to be prominently displayed on your organization's website. I went through several websites looking at examples of this for today, and some of them were prominently displayed and some of them really weren't. It took me a little while to find them, and some of them had the old logo. So if yours has the old logo, we need to get that updated. Use standardized language to describe the program on your website, your press release, etc. Use the AmeriCorps name and logo on your recruitment materials. Any material that you have, your member materials, your signs, social media, press releases, make sure you have the AmeriCorps name and logo on there. And we would like for you to have the Volunteer Tennessee name and logo on there too. AmeriCorps members must wear the AmeriCorps logo every day. We've already covered that. Display your AmeriCorps signs at your service sites. We have window clings, and this is be reminded at the end, that need to be at every site location for your AmeriCorps program. So I believe we have an intern that's going to be sending those out in a couple of weeks. So make sure we've got how many of those clings that you need. AmeriCorps members should state that they are AmeriCorps members during their public speaking engagements and opportunities. Because if you've heard some of the AmeriCorps members speak, I have. Every time I've heard an AmeriCorps member speak, it's been very impressive. And that adds to your brand, shows what good things you're doing and how qualified and competent your folks are. So making sure that there's that identity is great. Remember that NELM is going to be checking during the site visits and reviews to make sure that members are wearing the AmeriCorps logo every day and that it's predominantly displayed on the front page of your organization's website, and the cling is there as well. So how do you keep up with the requirements of AmeriCorps? As they created this brand guidelines document for you, and it is on the website. The link is right there, so you can access it at any point in time. But you must use the AmeriCorps logo correctly, or co-brand it in any newsletter, signage, collateral that you create for program activities. And whenever it is used, it has to be the circle A, and the word AmeriCorps has to be together. And you can look in go to this link and see the brand guidelines so that have any other questions about that. But it's kind of like your enterprise or Snickers. It all goes together. Put your name and your logo together. When you are co-branding with AmeriCorps, this is how you need to do it. You need to have AmeriCorps, the full logo, and the other separated by a vertical line for co-branding. But you also have, as part of it, spacing has to be just right. And your A that is in your that you use for AmeriCorps is what you're using as your spacing guideline between the AmeriCorps logo and the center line and the other logo, and your spacing around it. Make sure you have clear space around it, because white space is our friend. Here are also some co-branding requirements. We've already mentioned, I think, all of this. Make sure it's on your website, homepage, footer, or suitable prominent location. That's the logo. In your printed materials and digital collateral, need the logo and appropriate messaging. You can get some more appropriate messaging in that brand guideline PowerPoint that I showed you the link to just a minute ago. Make sure you have it on the social media as well. You need to wear your logo on your uniforms and have some branded gear. It's a little flexible on that, but at the minimum, you need the logo. And for the media, always, again, make sure that you are identifying your program as an AmeriCorps program and the speaker is an AmeriCorps member. Very, very important. Trying to go quickly because I know y'all are ready to be out of here. Here are some examples that I just went on social media and websites and saw how some of our programs are doing it. This is from Arch in East Tennessee, and you can see it's the old logo, but she has the logo on there, mentions AmeriCorps very prominently on there from their website. This social media post from the South Cumberland Plateau AmeriCorps Vista project, you can see on all the pictures that the AmeriCorps logo is very prominent there, which is what we want to see. The only thing that I would suggest and request, and this is me being selfish, is that you also tag Volunteer Tennessee in these posts so that we can share them as well.
Oh, there's a question in the chat.
Okay.
Ashley wanted to know, are there rules about staff branding?
The only rules that I know of are AmeriCorps members. Neelam, this would be a better question. Is Neelam on?
She may have rolled off by now, but Ashley, you are so funny. Not Freedom. So I've always, AmeriCorps, we always rested on your lanyard is always acceptable. It has the AmeriCorps branding. It has your name. It has your title. But I can look it up and see if there is something while we're here.
Yeah, I know the AmeriCorps members have to have it, and your program has to be appropriately branded. That's maybe a bad word to say that, but yeah, I don't know if staff does. It's only going to help you if you are.
Yeah, I just it's me. I just noticed when I went to when we were at the ASK conference and that one day where everybody's like, wear your AmeriCorps gear, and they're like, I was like, I don't have any. I give it all to my members because I don't have any allocated for myself. So I was, and then I got to be thinking, well, am I supposed to? But I've never found any guidance that said I had to be branded. Like there's some staff shirts like you can find on the National Gear, America's National Gear website that say I have like collared shirts or whatever, but I wasn't sure.
It would probably, I would think that it would fall on the, if you were actually representing the program at that moment that was being funded by AmeriCorps, it would be a good practice too. I can't, I know Candace is looking it up.
Oh no, you're fine. I still try to represent whenever I can, if there's an extra lanyard laying around, or make myself a name tag or something, if I'm going out to an event. But I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being neglectful in my branding.
Good for you.
I'm going to get you a shirt, Ashley. I didn't know you didn't have, that you were clean out of AmeriCorps branded shirts. So I'll be sure to get you one the next time I see you, which I think is coming up soon before the year's out.
Question on this. Sorry to kind of piggyback or jump in, but yeah, I mean, that's just, I guess my input or thought on this, Ashley, would be that like, if you do allocate like money for gear, and you allocate X amount of dollars, could we not just factor in like, because I know that the AmeriCorps service gear website, like some of those shirts are like $15 or $20. If you bought in bulk or whatever, you could just like snag one to wear. I mean, that's what I did. We had old shirts here that were bought years ago, and I've been wearing those for a while, like a white shirt with the AmeriCorps logo on it. So that's what I do, but I don't know if maybe that's not allowed or taboo. But I mean, that's what I'm just thinking, is if you buy things in bulk, you just allocate one for yourself out of the overall gear that you bought.
I splurged on the dollar pin, and I stick it on my shirt. I know. But no, I probably should. I prioritize my members, and I figured it was under like the member support thing. So I was like, okay, it's for them. So that's another reason why I didn't assume we had any guidelines, because there wasn't like, oh, be sure your staff is, branded adequately.
Candace, did you find anything?
Not for staff, not yet.
Not for staff. Okay. So if we find a definitive answer, we will let you know. Here's another example. You can see the quarter leaf has the AmeriCorps logo at the bottom there. And this is from Martha O'Brien Center's website. This is not from one of our programs, but I loved how colorful that logo was in the lower right-hand corner from Volunteer, Iowa. So just a few examples. Again, whenever you do social media, also please tag Volunteer Tennessee on it too, because I'm watching our social media sites, and if you tag us on your posts, I try to share those. I don't always, but I do try. And sometimes and I'll try to rotate also to make sure I'm getting from different programs. And y'all can't see my hands moving, but they're moving to show you that I'm trying to get all the programs. Did y'all want to take a break, or do y'all want to just push on through so y'all can be done?
No, I love the squirrel. You can, I think that it's a general consensus that because we just came back from break
Okay.
with you, so you can go ahead and move forward.
Okay.
We'll stretch still.
Okay. I do like the squirrel though. Isn't he cute? We have a white squirrel in our backyard. Okay. Another part of the branding for AmeriCorps or your appropriate colors. Y'all probably know these, but here are the actual colors. They're also in that brand guide, but colors are important as well. Your messaging requirements. And I had been doing this wrong for a little while until I saw this. I went, ooh. AmeriCorps is the capital A and capital C with no space in between it going together. I did know that part. But when you're referring to the AmeriCorps members, your member is not capitalized. And when you're refer to your AmeriCorps seniors, volunteers, volunteers is not capitalized. So that was one that I had not realized because I was capitalizing it, and then I'm like, oh no. So I fixed it now, but these are messaging requirements as well.
Hey, Hope.
Yes.
Back to the colors real quick, and I guess when's the best time to be using those? Because we've been trying to make flyers and stuff, and did they all have to be just those colors, or just when it's around the logo, or does your entire flyer have to be associated with only these colors? Because we have our own colors with the university, and they're purple, and they're not one of those colors. It's actually a Swanee purple. It's branded. So I didn't know, and we're representing Swanee Volunteer Tennessee, which has the, the red, white, blue, and beige. And then we have the AmeriCorps colors, and then we have our partner affiliate SCCF, which is like a lime green. So we have like all these colors, and when we're making these flyers, it really gets stressful.
A bit much. Yeah.
Yeah. So where in association do we need to utilize these colors or prioritize these colors?
Well, definitely the logo needs to be, I believe the only logo options you've really got for the AmeriCorps Tennessee logo are the navy and the crimson. I think there's a white one if you need to put it on a darker color. I know it needs to be used there, but it's just anything that's associated with just the AmeriCorps program. When you're referring to AmeriCorps, that would be fantastic. I believe that the major thing really is the logo, because we need to be consistent with the logo.
So could we send you some samples of what we were doing to get a reference if we're doing adequately? Wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. You got my email address. I'm always available. Well, if I'm here. I'm not if I'm spending family time, but I'm always more than happy to help you guys. You know that. Here is another page from the language and messaging about the, say you're an AmeriCorps member from the organization's VISTA program. Don't say you're a VISTA member. Don't say you're an NCCC member or a Corps member or an AmeriCorps volunteer. You were selected to, you weren't hired to do. You serve as, you don't work as. So Important distinctions there. Most people won't know about it, but if you send out press releases or on your website, this was not in the presentation before, but here's the boilerplate language that we use at the bottom of our press releases. That way people understand how, if you're doing a press release that relates to the AmeriCorps funding, that way people can have a better understanding of the other organizations that are involved. And the AmeriCorps language comes straight from the AmeriCorps brand guide, and the volunteer Tennessee language is actually what we use at the end of our press releases as well. So really encourage you to incorporate some or all of that. We would appreciate it because we want to keep getting funding in order to keep handling the grants. So messages for examples for the grantees. We are an AmeriCorps grantee. We are AmeriCorps senior grantee. Program names do exist, but they are de-emphasized when communicated publicly. So we are an AmeriCorps grantee and receive funds as part of Volunteer Tennessee. I'm not going to, well, I think some of y'all have done that lots of times. Again, hitting on the AmeriCorps member, AmeriCorps senior volunteer, AmeriCorps alum, and I serve with VISTA program at XYZ. So just messaging. It's important for folks to know how to tell others what they're doing, and it makes the general public more comfortable whenever we do that consistently. Now we're talking about gear. Here's best practices. AmeriCorps members must wear gear featuring the AmeriCorps logo, serving preferably on the clothing. And you've already talked about the pins, patches. We've talked about hats, the logo placement. This guidance comes straight out of the AmeriCorps brand guidebook. And this is what ours look like. And I'm actually wearing one of these shirts today with the Volunteer Tennessee on the front, and then the arm with the AmeriCorps Tennessee logo on it. So website best practices, AmeriCorps and Volunteer Tennessee logos displayed prominently. Make the connection between AmeriCorps and your program. Sometimes people don't understand how the programs are being funded. So if we can help them make that connection between your program and the AmeriCorps funding, that'll just help everybody out down the line. Make sure your recruitment information is easy to find. Somebody, I think if it has to go more than 3 clicks, it's too far in. So also your photos, feature AmeriCorps logo in your photos and your service photos. And we've got an example right here. You can see this young lady has her AmeriCorps button on. For your social media, have a plan, think ahead, keep in mind special days, make sure your team knows about the branding compliance details. There are a whole lot of social media ones going out that don't, I don't see the AmeriCorps logo on them for AmeriCorps programs. Make sure you're tagging AmeriCorps and hashtagging, and please tag us and hashtag Volunteer Tennessee as well. Like, again, we want to maximize our reach. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Share AmeriCorps member stories and the program impact. The reason you want to do that is you want to make connection with people, and by telling stories and making what your members are doing more relatable, that's just going to help with our success, all of our team success together. Your visuals are important. Like I said, your pictures, share photos. People love pictures, and your AmeriCorps members are going to be on the socials, and they're going to share their own photos. So that gives you even more visibility there. Just make sure the logos are prominent in the photos, please. Again, amplify your program and impact. Follow us, tag us. I'm going to mention on this one, engage with us. Send me pictures, member stories, share news of your special service projects. Like I know Ashley had told me when they were going to start their summer meals program, and I included that in our newsletter to let folks know that that was going to happen. I would love to be able to do that with more programs so that we can help the people who get our newsletter and read our socials know what good is happening out there, how lives are being changed, and the impact that's going on. And please, this is a shameless plug for me, but subscribe to our monthly newsletter. Not that that's a requirement. I'm just asking you to nicely. And if you do have highlights or programs, or if there's a neat story, or if you just want to send me your member spotlights or whatever, there's my email address, hope.alexander@tn.gov. We want to celebrate your success. We want to improve Tennessee. We want to move it forward. I know y'all are doing fantastic things to meet amazing needs. And if we can work together, that just, all together, all ships rise. So help us help you. And I'm going to end with the, with the clings. Again, you're required to have these clings in every member service site location. I believe there is a survey that went out, or is going out, so that we know how many to mail to your program. So if you haven't done that, Candace, do you happen to know what that link was, or do they just need to email Latifa?
I don't have the link, but
Okay.
They can email Latifa, and then I'll also in the Team Tennessee newsletter, I'll make sure that you guys include it in that as well.
Thank you. Okay. When in doubt, contact us. AmeriCorps has a recruitment office, and they're going to try to get additional materials for you guys. Photos with members in action are ideal. Try to get, instead of a wide view of pictures, try to get a closer up view so that people can actually see what's being done. It helps with the relatability. Use the perspective of the member and or service recipient, because they're serving because they want to make a difference, and their story is going to be a cool story to share. So, and it gives people a better perspective. Consider some of your service recipients as AmeriCorps candidates. If you're recruiting, that might be a good option for you. If you have video content and you're sharing it, people love video. I don't do as much video as I would like, just because of time. But if you have video content, again, make sure you tag us in it, use your AmeriCorps logo on there, and we'll try to help you out by sharing that as well. Invite Volunteer Tennessee, your elected officials, and media to special events to help get the name out there. Again, our commissioners are on the commission because they want to make a difference. And by having them out there, that helps everybody understand what's going on. Use AmeriCorps templates in your social media campaign. I did not include it, but there is, I need to do that. There's a location where you can download AmeriCorps. They already have social media templates and the words that you need to use and everything that you can just push out on your website. I push them out on our socials. So they do provide that. It's an easy way to get that out there. Have your members practice elevator speeches. We do have something about that on our website. We also have something about it in the handbook about the elevator speeches. But whenever they're going out and talking, it's just better to be prepared and to have practiced that so that they know what they want to say. Because once you get talking, sometimes you just don't know what you say, and you just talk and you're like, huh, and you ramble on. So it's a good idea to practice it. Be be creative and practical about how you present the AmeriCorps logo. It's not really that complicated. We just need to make sure we're there and we're consistent. Here are some resources, including my email address and phone number, and some of the AmeriCorps resources as well. And Candace is going to put, I believe, this on Basecamp. And do y'all have any questions? You were talking about the gear store earlier. Here's the website for the gear store. And that's all I've got, unless y'all have anything. I went fast. I know
Hey,
y'all are. Yes, ma'am.
It's a conversation Candace and I have been having in the chat, and you may be able, the boilerplate you had earlier that said we are the grantee, AmeriCorps grantee, and blah, blah, blah. I thought we were sub-grantees, so does ours need to say sub-grantees when we're putting any plates like that? Okay, I just wanted to get that clarity. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that, like I said, that verbiage came straight from the AmeriCorps brand guide thing. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Good catch. Anything else?
Oh, sorry, I'm typing. So for Emily Emily was asking about when the window clings are going to be sent out. I think it's our hope that once all of the numbers are gathered, that we will get them sent out by the end of this month. Latifa is the person who would know that. And as you guys know, she is out for the remainder of the day. So tomorrow, I have a couple of follow-up things to follow up with you guys on. I will not only come back with the link for you guys to sign up for it, hopefully. I will also have a date of when the cutoff time is and also the roundabout time when they'll be getting sent out. It's not too many you're welcome, Emily. You can ask for 2, you can ask for 20. It's not a magic number. It can totally be an overestimation. You can use them next year as well. So well, maybe not next year, but
I ordered 1,500 in our last order, so I think we'll have plenty.
Okay. Well, Ashley, for 1 million, we're gonna make some Xerox copies. So we'll let go. But just to let you guys know, because I think sometimes it's trying to count every single one of them. And when you give them, just for example, with Teach for America, they have many schools that they work with in their respective cities. So if they have 20 schools, it's okay for them to order 40 window clings to send a couple to each site. So it's not a magic number on the window cling. So just as you think about it, if you haven't sent it to Latifa already, just be thinking about it this month, and we'll get you. You can either email Latifa what that number is, or I'll be back tomorrow with the link.
I think Latifa told us they were trying to get them out by the end of the month in our staff meeting. I don't remember the date.
It was so long ago because it was right before the 4th of July. but I do believe that we'll try to get them out before the end of the month. Okay, and McKellen I love your name, McKellen, just FYI. So she wants to know, do you all provide recruitment materials that have the Volunteer Tennessee logo on them? For example, banners and tablecloths and etc.
Oh, we don't have a store that does stuff like that. We can send you the logo, the Volunteer Tennessee logo, and work with me on the printing, the artwork. But we can send it to you, and you can print that stuff if you'd like. But we don't have it in stock. I don't know that we ever have we, Candace?
No, because everybody has different ideas of what their recruitment materials look like. Some do a lot of flyers, some do buttons, some do pins. So we leave those decisions up to you guys on what recruitment materials you think are better for your respective site. But no, we don't actually have recruitment materials. Now, every now and again, we'll send things to you guys for your members that have actually started things for them. But as far as recruitment materials, no, we don't.
No, but again, you can holler at me and I can share the logo as well.
Yes, and then also, I don't know, can we put that on Basecamp so that it's available on Basecamp whenever they need the logo instead of asking you, or is that doing too much?
I haven't thought through that.
Okay. Let's discuss that
most
on
of the
which
programs,
platform we can have it available for them.
Yeah, most of that may be something, I know we're going to talk about it next week. That may be something that we have on our website, on our resources page for AmeriCorps programs.
Mhm.
That might be an option for that. But we can talk about it and discuss it. But at this moment, if you just want to holler at me, it's easy enough for me to send it out.
Yeah, because McKellen is with Artist Year, who's new this year.
I've already sent
sure that. Okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure that they have only gotten the logo maybe once, but okay.
Yeah, somebody, and I can't remember who it was from Artist Year, has already emailed me, and I've already sent them the logo, so they've got it. They're good to go.
Okay, perfect.
I have one clarity question because I might have missed this in the communication. I'm trying to run my summer meal program while being on the webinar. So, Volunteer Tennessee's logo, does it have to be on all our branded AmeriCorps material because we're associated, or is it just some?
We would like for at least a mention of our name to be there, and I would love the logo to be there. I don't know if you saw how it was done in the bottom of the slide, where they're side by side and you have the line in between it. And that's
we put it on all our social media and paperwork. It's really easy to pop y'all on there on printed, like t-shirts and hats and things like that, or more buttons. It's not always as easy because there's not enough room, or it costs so much more to add another thing that's not the same color scheme. Yeah. So I was just wondering, what's your take on that? And we will adhere to whatever you decide. So.
My understanding is that you're only required to have the AmeriCorps on there. Candace, you can correct me if you know differently, but everything that I said just showed that you were required to have AmeriCorps and on there for the actual funding. But people need to also know that it's coming through us so that we can continue to get the AmeriCorps funding. So I know that's not really an answer.
So in compliance, with y'all, it's not mandatory unless it's one of the stickers on the window or, on social media branding kind of stuff. But as for printed material, like clothing and shirts and pins, it's kind of up to us.
That's what I understand. We probably need to verify that with Neelam. Would Neelam be the right person to verify that with, Candace?
Latifah.
And Latifah? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I've not been asked that question before, Ashley. You keep me on my toes.
Good like that.
You keep me on my toes.
So I do want to promote y'all, and we try really hard, but like this year we ran into a problem. There's so many, like the color scheme of the different contributors to our program just makes it very difficult to make, cohesive printed material that doesn't cost a buttload because, it's like 18 different colors.
Yep.
So I want to give y'all as much kudos as we can, but I don't know if we can always appear. Like, do y'all have like a black and white version we can use or something?
I was just about to say that. Yes, we do.
Oh, yes, that's great. I did not know that. So if we could have access to that, that would be great.
Yeah. And actually, whenever I use our logo on like our social media sites and all, if it's a dark background, I'll take the white version of the logo and put it behind our color one, just so we have white going around it to make it pop. So, but yeah, we do. And if you'll help me remember, I'll send that to you.
I can send you a message. Thank you.
You're amazing.
I have my moments.
You have a lot of them. Okay. Do y'all need any other questions?
Okay. Thank you, Hope, so much for coming on today and spending some time with us. You are always just such a ray of sunshine.
And notice I've got mine on too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for it. And I think, Ashley, just for a little bit of additional clarity, I think that the AmeriCorps, or pop your shoulder over here again, Hope, the AmeriCorps Tennessee is acceptable as well. it maybe not necessarily has to be volunteer Tennessee, but I think the AmeriCorps Tennessee could work for you just as well.
And we get a lot of ours off the when I pull it, I just pull it direct off the AmeriCorps Communications website, and I don't think I've seen the AmeriCorps Tennessee one. So if it's somewhere else, I need access to it if it's possible.
Okay. I think that just from hearing, like listening to McKellen and listening to you, I think that this might be an opportunity. I don't know why we haven't thought of this before, other than just emailing it out, is to actually have it in a SharePoint or some type of repository so that you guys can just go get it at your will. So I will definitely make sure that we are okay with sharing it on Basecamp so that all our member sites have direct access to it whenever you need. So, but I hear you. So the AmeriCorps Tennessee, just our standard volunteer Tennessee logo, and the AmeriCorps Tennessee are the three that we need to figure out. Okay.
The volunteer Tennessee in black and white too.
In black and white, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are almost at, well, maybe not quitting time, but the red button leave time. So thank you guys so much for being here with us today. We have, hold on.